Puzzle. In one of Rivia's many caverns dwells a blind troll known to locals as Snip Snip. He is often seen along roadsides where he greets weary travelers and warmly invites them to his cave for soup. On occasion, utterly drained from hunger, some actually accept the offer and follow the troll to his home. They soon realize, however, that they'll not enjoy a single slurp of his soup, but rather become a key ingredient in it. Skulls, foul ale, mushrooms. Leftmost. I am not understanding something, or I'm just not. You just have to guess. Carries the stench of cheap booze and garlic stewed in guts. Okay, good one. Day and night, up to their elbows in corpses, can't mistake the smell for anything. Skulls.
Oi, Meavy!
Cried Gascon, as usual paying no heed to courtly etiquette.
Come here a minute.
Would it hurt so terribly to occasionally address me by Your Grace or Your Majesty?
Didn't want to be petty, but since you bring it up, you've never once addressed me as the Duke of Dogs.
Meave sighed, rolling her eyes.
Get on with it.
My lads jumped one of the Blackclads' transports. Guess what they were hauling?
Gascon handed Meave a pot filled to the brim with a thick, dark fluid.
Paint?
Close. Printer's ink. Same tone used in those phony decrees.
Meve spun on her heel, put a hand to her mouth, and yelled.
Reynard! Send scouts to comb the area!
Her soldiers returned a few hours later with good news. They were able to find a Nilfgaardian printer's workshop hidden in an abandoned barn. It was guarded by a division of elite infantry.
Right, so?
Gascon thumbed the edge of his blade.
Shall we stop the presses?
Time for the Nilfgaardians to publish a retraction.
Spoke the Queen as she drew her sword.
Signed with their own blood. Follow me!
The Lyrians did not need to be told twice. Their Queen's honor, her good name, that was a cause well worth fighting for.
Short battle. One Nilfgaardian propaganda pamphlet reads as follows. Meve, a faint and timid woman, has not the courage or nor strength to defend the country in times of war. They would soon see, however, that this claim was on every account false. These two are okay.
It's her! Yes, you fool her! Sound the alarm! Larum!
What's the best to pick? What's the best to play? I guess this.
Life is mine now! You mad? Don't shake that!
Discipline. That is what you folk lack.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Wise choice.
This could hurt!
Cats out!
For the last!
Off to the front yet again.
Well, good thing that
Left, right, left, right. Mahjong, mahjong.
good thing that it seems like one of these guys is going to die by the fire anyway.
Quiet! What a consour here.
Never had your kneecaps broken!
Watch your heads!
Death is only the beginning!
Scheiß! In zwei!
Whoa.
Give me a time.
God save the Queen!
Off to the front yet again.
Kommissar will hear.
They weren't expecting us. Seems they believe their own blarney.
The Nilfgaardians fought fiercely, led by a seasoned covert agent. Seeing he would soon fall into enemy hands, he put a knife to his throat and, in a quick slash, sent blood pouring over paper and still wet ink. Reynard leapt towards him, trying to stanch the red tide. But it was too late, and the spy's secrets perished with his last gargled breath. Niamh picked up a freshly printed pamphlet. The document listed her many crimes and misdeeds, the true and the manufactured alike. Above the main body of the text, an etching depicted her, well, in a very unflattering manner.
How about a taste of their own medicine?
Asked Gascon, piecing blocks of type into a scathingly foul phrase.
Me and the lads will scratch out a couplet about Epdahi, spread it around the countryside, give the folk a hearty laugh at those tossers' expense.
Yes, these presses should be put to good use.
The Queen said.
But printing lewd jests is not it. We must spread facts. Tell what the Nilfgaardians did in Aldersburg, how they tried to murder me in Mahakam and Angren, what fate lies in store for those they conquer.
Gascon grew serious and set the ink-stained type back down.
Get to work. Before the sun sets, I wish to hold the first document in my hands.
Soon, in every town, village and tavern, there hung a notice detailing Nilfgaard's crimes. The outraged Rivians did what they could to strengthen the Queen's army, some by offering coin, others by joining her ranks.
They got her better profile.
Nilfgaard left none alive in Rosberg, not even one woman, and no child was spared! Peasants from Edirne have been captured and put to work by force. Nilfgaard now prepares the same fate for Rivia and all Rivians. Emperor Emir var Emrys is a Fran imposter, a Fran Doppler. Nilfgaard left none alive in Rosberg, not even one woman, and no child was spared. Nilfgaard left none alive in Rosberg,
cool.
not even one woman, and no child was spared.
The locals had a warning for the Queen: we don't go to Ravenholm. After Nilfgaardians had scorched the village, beasts claimed what remained. For a time, the venerable Grigory, mad with grief, resisted them until they finally tore him to shreds, that is. Oh. lot of flashing lights. One unit. Why at least 100? Okay. Odd, even. That's... Okay. Rivians know that this war is not merely about whose banners fly at court or to whom you will owe tax. No, it is a matter of life and death, forced labor and mass graves. That is the fate that awaits you. I've witnessed with my own eyes how these dire circumstances have already unfolded in Edirne. Thus, I call upon you to make up arms and aid your queen in the fight against the Empire. Together, side by side, we shall force our enemy back across the Aruga.
Rivia will never die so long as we are alive.
Your Majesty, we found corpses in the tents. Traveling merchant is the purest. Seems they were killed. Inquisition them, of course.
These lands, they look familiar to you?
Naturally, Your Grace. They're the venerable Count Caldwell's.
War, death, chaos. Everywhere but here. This land's positively pastoral.
The traitorous Caldwell family's residence loomed into view. Against the horizon, it looked suitably sinister. Yet the manor had changed since Meve last saw it. 2 new wings, ornate towers, a grand colonnade. And the windows now glistened with stained glass, the gilded hue of imperial suns.
We must pay them a visit.
Seethed the queen. The great double doors opened with an echoing thud. Just inside them stood the heir to the estate, Dragomir, his wife and 3 children by his side, and Helena, the treacherous count's widow. Sliding the cap from his head, thus giving proof of the family's hereditary baldness, Dragomir knelt down upon one knee.
Your Grace, my father's betrayal stands beyond doubt and exoneration.
The young Caldwell said flawlessly and in a single breath, as if he'd practiced a dozen times.
And his death at your hands was most well deserved. I ask that ye not punish sons for the sins of their fathers. I ask humbly, with bowed head, allow me to stay on my ancestral lands, to serve faithfully as your loyal subject.
I believe not a word slithering out of his mouth,
Whispered Reynard.
The first chance he gets to stab you in the back, he will take.
I feel there is a very good third option, meaning that, listen, you can stay, but you're going to be the first guy to pay for... But you're going to be the first guy to pay for, well... for whatever I want.
Meve narrowed her eyes and gazed at Dragomir. Large drops of sweat dripped from his brow.
You may stay,
Said the queen, finally breaking the silence.
on 2 conditions. Firstly, you will make a considerable donation toward the war effort. Then field an infantry regiment, fully outfitted, under my command.
Naturally, Your Grace. And the other?
In one swift motion, Meve snatched a crossbow from a soldier, put it to her cheek, and loosed. Caldwell the Younger screamed bloody murder as he threw up his arms to shield his face. The bolt hissed by and struck the center of a golden sun, shattering one of the stained glass windows.
Redecorate.
Said the queen flatly. She then mounted up and sped off, earnestly hoping she'd not come to regret her generosity.
Soldiers are angry. Understandable.
I shall replace the glazing in the windows to bear Rivian diamonds. A glazier I've already sent for.
I mean, why spare them? Because it seems like it was like the treason was the Calvars doing, and they got rich of betraying, so let them pay it back. It's a battle here. Crouching in the dark, the Lyrians observed the Guardian garrison in silence. They watched as fires were extinguished, as echoes grew quiet. Finally, once the barracks were quiet with sleep, only lone sentries remained atop the walls. Then the queen gave the order to strike. It was time to give the rouse the invaders from their peaceful slumber.
armor was.
Again and again and again.
Life is mine now.
Ah, crap.
God save the Queen! To the last! Ah! Yeah!
I mean, if we're holding them, then just hold them. He has 2-card advantage. Well, I think we can.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are carried.
Well, I think we can beat it.
Wise choice.
Quiet, or the commissar will hear.
Oh, whoops, a mistake. Oh well.
You mad? Don't say that! Ach! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
Technically, it would have been better if I just passed. We are almost equal in cards, but shouldn't matter really. And they have resilience, so...
This could hurt!
Egreto dum anime est, spes est.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Ennard Fane!
Aye.
God!
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Two-card advantage shouldn't really matter anyway. Yeah, definitely.
Should've listened to me old lady.
Left, right, left, right. Again and again and again.
Not in
Jarle Kronfair.
Let me tell you of Ravencloft, a quarry Meave passed by. A quarry with a dark history. For years earlier, its wall had collapsed, burying dozens alive. Scholars summoned from Oxenfurt were unanimous in their findings. The rock was fragile, further digging would likely cause slides. Meave had heeded the scholars' advice and closed the quarry by royal decree. Yet now, as she neared it, Meave could hear the even tap of pickaxes. She dispatched scouts to investigate. They returned promptly, their faces sullen, their cloaks blanched with a fine limestone dust.
Quarry's open anew, Your Grace. Nilfgaardians. They've got folk in the pit working it. Appear to be from the surrounding villages.
Interesting. Their engineers have found a way to render it safe. Secure the walls.
I'd say that's right unlikely, Majesty. Judging by the fresh graves we saw.
The Queen then turned to Reynard, as ever at her side.
Reynard, what do you advise?
As a soldier, my queen, I'd advise against any kind of assault. The terrain's hard, unsuitable for a fight, and we've little to gain from a victory. As a man, however...
Yes?
To leave our folk in chains, in that death trap. 'Twouldn't be right.
If I were to calculate in heart and mind, keep note of gains and losses...
Began Meave.
I'd bend the knee to the Imperials, just as Willem did. But bloody arithmetic won't dictate my course, for I do what's just. I do what's right. Follow me!
Her troops followed without hesitation, swords in hand.
Oops. Didn't mean to. Meave had expected easy victory. From her scout reports, she learned that Lyrians held a considerable numerical advantage over the invading forces, yet the Queen had not foreseen one critical Nilfgaardian strategy: the use of chained captives to fight opposite their own countrymen.
Those Horsens, forcing my own subjects to fight us.
Ha!
Wise choice.
Oh!
Your Grace, if we begin killing the overseers, the labourers will turn against them.
Aye.
Well, that's nice, but my deck isn't really
Life
suited
is mine now!
dealing damage.
Again and again and again.
Catch him! He's worth 20 florins!
Oh, you...
March on!
For the Queen!
I hunted game. Men bring more coin.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Dericania! Source of the best goods.
Okay.
God save the Queen!
Do you have more?
Left,
We're going to find
right,
out.
left, right.
The amount of damage the fire bombers were doing here, insane.
That will do.
Jesus. Now his board is full though. Yeah.
The overseers are dead, your grace.
The Lyrians handily dispatched the Nilfgaardian overseers, more trained in the ways of the whip than the sword. Those who survived now found themselves shackled in the very chains they'd forced the peasants to wear. Peasants. Oh, unfortunate souls. The cruel labor in the quarry had taken its toll. They stood before the Queen, shrunken to skin and bone, clothed in tattered rags, their eyes reddened by dust. But in those eyes burned a brilliant fire.
These cards are so pretty, so pretty.
Grace, them black clads treated us like dogs, stripped us of dignity. So we beg you, give us arms, let us march neath your banner. 'Tis a chance at revenge we seek, we want.
Reynard leaned towards Meave and spoke in a scarcely audible whisper.
Majesty, they've knout. Not boots, not even foot wraps. To equip the lot, train them, would cost a small fortune.
'Tis true. They've nought to their names.
Said the Queen.
Have few skills to offer and little strength. But to look in their eyes is to know they'll never flee. Never throw down their arms. Such recruits are worth coin in any amount.
Emaciated, downtrodden, the peasants met the Queen's offer with gratitude. They relished the thought of facing their tormentors in a fight. Meave now reached Willowhain, a settlement she knew well, for it lay near Waldenrad, where in peacetime she would go to escape her queenly duties and enjoy the thrill of a hunt.
Pheasant, grouse, and partridge in abundance. You will see,
said Meave in muted excitement, pivoting in her saddle to face Gascon. Alas, it appeared the war had ravaged even these woods. Where life had stirred and grown tall before, only resinous trunks remained. And the village itself had lost its quaint allure, surrounded now by a double stockade, a golden sun fluttering above it.
Bastards couldn't even let the damn trees be.
Gascon seethed. A dismal scene. Her once cherished wood, and it weighed heavily on the Queen's spirits. Waldenrad had been a place removed, where she could rest and forget the weight of her crown. Reynard's voice roused me from her sad reverie.
A Nilfgaardian garrison holds the village,
He said,
We ought to drive them out. Avoid any surprise later from the rear.
Give the order to attack, but none is to play the hero. We shall breach or topple the stockade together. Senseless to perish so close to home.
Reynard nodded. Moments later, the Lyrians rushed forth and attacked.
Maeve recalled her first hunt in Waldenrad nearly 20 years ago. She was young, naive, and newly married to Reginald. Now the forest had been razed, Reginald was dead, and Maeve shared little in common with the starry-eyed girl who first arrived at Lyrian court.
The time has come to purge these devils from our homes! Follow me!
Aye.
Life is mine now.
I don't mind these guys because I have Isabel.
Should have listened to me old lady.
I smell a leak.
Wise choice.
Mahjong.
Okay. The AI giving up like this seems kind of weird.
When the battle dust had settled, Maeve instructed her soldiers to gather Willowhane's inhabitants. Upon spotting their armed liberators, the common folk cowered in terror.
No longer need you fear.
The Queen shouted.
No longer must you worry about homes and loved ones. The war's nearly done.
Of a sudden, a villager dropped to his knees and raised his hands to the heavens in supplication.
Troche! Guide my queen!
Maeve broke off oddly, baffled by the man's outburst. And then it dawned on her. The Rivians of Willowhane had been driven away. Taking their place, Nilfgaardian settlers brought in to transform the near-subsistence plots of local peasants into great estates producing for the Empire. Reynard managed to grasp the essence of the Nilfgaardian peasants' frantic pleas.
They wish to stay. They've come to love the land. They pledged to renounce their emperor, swear allegiance to you as their rightful ruler. They...
Maeve had stopped listening. She turned to survey the hamlet. The walls of the huts freshly whitewashed, tools neatly arranged, flower beds well tended. A young girl of 6 or 7 summers peered out from her hiding place in a sunflower patch.
Your Majesty?
Asked Reynard, having noted that Meave's mind had wandered.
What are your orders? What shall we do?
They can stay on 2 conditions. Tell them. For 15 years, they'll pay double the tax. And if any of the previous inhabitants return, they're to be given their huts, lands, and any crops produced in their absence without delay.
The Nilfgaardian settlers accepted the terms with relief. Meave's soldiers with markedly less enthusiasm. As the force left Willowhain, the troops made a show of knocking aside any food or drink the peasants offered.
I mean, I know it sucks, but what's the alternative? Throw them out, kill them, and like leave the village to ruin? Ravians, I know many of you are hesitant to take up arms for fear that Nilfgaard cannot be defeated. I, Queen Meave, have already many times disproven this fallacy. I have soundly defeated black-clad forces amidst the flames in Edirn, the snows of Mahakam, and the marshes of Angren. Until this moment, these victories were unknown to you, but the truth can no longer remain silent. The Nilfgaardian Empire is colossus that stands on feet of clay. Together we can bring it to its knees. Werewolf. The Lyrian army approached Lindeham, the village Sergeant Niedamir called home. He was eager to hold his family in loving embrace, recount his adventures, introduce his wife to the queen, yet the chimneys spewed no smoke, no light flickered through closed shutters, and a bit further beyond the village a deep dark pit. What did it hold, you ask? Ah, you clearly aren't familiar with war. Resilience. Okay.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Left, right, left, right.
Watch your heads!
So you have to play a card.
Again and again and again.
Queen! There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Catch! I smell a leak.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
They do deal some damage.
God save the Queen!
Never had your
I
kneecap
hoped we
broken.
could solve this some other way.
To the last!
Hello? My guy? That is the second time the game froze. Because the game is kind of frozen, I think. Not cool.
Arbalist is your command. There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Never had your kneecaps broken.
I guess the cavalry can get in.
God save the Queen!
To the last!
leak.
Should have listened to me old lady.
You mad? Don't shake that!
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
This could hurt!
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Oh. Heal all of your units. Well, that's something.
Watch your heads!
I'd hoped we could solve this some other way.
Left, right, left, right.
One bullet's all I need.
Some of the units we just kill.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
I think you'll really like this one.
Musgrave. As expected.
Meve spied the outline of Malabon Castle on the horizon and turned Dur. True, no golden suns waved atop its towers, yet that did not mean those within supported her. Malabon belonged to House Obert, long in conflict with Meve's own. and with Meve herself.
Behind their ramparts. Do you see them, Reynard?
Asked Meve, shaking her head.
Countless ballistae, collecting dust, while war rages all around.
Perhaps the Oberts will lend us aid,
Reynard replied.
True, you've been at odds with them in the past, but perhaps now, faced with a common foe.
A common foe?
Snorted the Queen.
You mean Nilfgaard, to whom they opened their gates? Caldwell, whom they supported?
For they were convinced the Empire would win this war, and resistance pointless. Yet you have shown all the North the Blackclads can be defeated. So perhaps they shall forget old wrongs.
The things I do for the good of my realm.
Meve sighed.
So be it. Reynard, send a runner to the castle. Tell the Oberts their queen seeks a word.
Moments later, the castle's heavy iron gate creaked open. Meve rode into the cobblestone courtyard, where Margravine Greta, head of the house, greeted her. Although, greeted is perhaps not the right word, for Lady Greta granted her only a barely perceptible nod.
What can I help you with, Meve?
The war, my dear. The one being fought outside the walls of your castle.
Greta smiled to herself, then intertwined her brittle, ring-covered fingers.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
It is a vassal's sacred duty to serve her liege, and
my liege is King Willem.
Greta calmly retorted.
Against whom you have raised arms.
Willem is a usurper. He unlawfully stripped me of my crown.
The Council of Peers deprived you of your crown,
Greta said, pursing her eyes into thin slits.
Fearing you would drag this realm into a senseless war. A fear which, it is now abundantly clear, was well-founded.
I have returned home a victor. I defeated the Nilfgaardians in Angren.
Due to a stroke of good luck. You think defeating Caldwell means you can defeat the Emperor as well? Madness, my dear Meve. And my men will not die for madness. Leave my home! Begone from my lands!
We'll come back to it later,
said the Queen.
But I shall return here once I win this war. And I shall reckon then with you and your house.
Meve kicked her spurs and set off at a gallop, sparks flying where horseshoes met cobblestones. For long afterwards, she silently mouthed a litany of curses aimed at the Oberts and their old Margravine. Meve's force reached Cavaldon, a small, run-down town.
The Blackclads, they've a strong garrison in place,
proclaimed her scouts upon returning from a foray.
And they stand prepared for a siege. Their stores overflow, and we've seen ballistas, scorpions.
Cavaldon can be taken,
began Reynard hesitantly.
But not without losses. Considerable losses.
A retreat? Is that what you advise?
I fear the soldiers wouldn't take to such a course. They're eager, Your Grace. They've a fire in them. Order a retreat and you could devastate morale.
Our losses may be heavy,
said Meve, drawing her sword.
But I'll make certain the vile invader suffers even more. Order the troops to prepare. We will attack.
Soon after, the Lyrians moved on Cavaldon, war drums rumbling in step to their march. Upon the walls, the Nilfgaardians stood poised to defend.
When the Lyrians approached the walls of Cavaldon, they were greeted with a hail of bolts and arrows, and the Guardians had made clear they had no mention of surrendering the city without a fight. Yet, if they believed such a tactic sufficient to discourage Meve's siege, a harsh truth awaited them.
invader scum! Valyria! For
My, now that is some fancy weaponry. Bet it's still got that new war machine smell.
Wise choice.
We must bring down their walls! Crush them!
Watch your heads!
Order!
Aye.
Life is mine now!
There's a lot of infantry.
Nilfgaard!
Should have listened to me old lady.
Retreat!
Our ballista, your command.
Enoch Fien!
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
That was not in the spell books.
Scoia'tael! Attack!
Sorry, turnips back for an encore.
Catch!
Yes!
When will you ever learn?
Edroto dum anima est, spes est. My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
Very good.
We did it, Your Grace. The city is ours.
The Nilfgaardians had indeed prepared well, with grapples to repel hook ladders from the walls and long spears to rain down upon attackers far below. Niamh managed on the fourth attempt to breach the defences, but did so scrambling over the corpses of her own men. The Queen was in the field tent when Reynard arrived with surprising news. To be heard over the groans of the wounded, he had to raise his voice.
Your Grace, a delegation of townsfolk. They seek an audience urgently.
Dozens of burghers stood before the tent. Between them and the Queen, a man knelt in shackles. His face was blooded as if he'd endured a vicious beating just moments before.
Who's this?
Our blacksmith, Todor.
Snarled a priestess in a frayed robe.
He betrayed you, Your Grace. Soon after the Nilfgaardians arrived, within hours in truth, he offered his labour and strength. They didn't even need to ask. Forged arms and armour for them, all for imperial gold.
Niamh gripped the beaten man's beard, tugged upwards, and looked him in the eyes.
Did you forge the hooks and the tips for those spears?
I did, Your Grace.
It was fine work.
Growled the Queen.
Damned fine.
Show him mercy, milady!
Cried a withered old man in a flour-spattered apron.
When the black-clad bastards captured my son, they were eager to hang him. Todor spoke for him, saved his life.
He helped me too!
Hollered a woman in the crowd.
I were hungry. He shared what little he had.
The townsfolk began shouting over one another. Some told of the blacksmith's noble deeds. Others labelled him a traitor deserving of a cruel and violent end. Niamh turned back towards the field hospital, pondering the case, then spotted her soldiers' corpses laid out in rows. Had it not been for Todor, there might not have been so many.
I mean, what's the point of lashing it? Kill him or you let him go?
This man forged arms for the Nilfgaardians.
If to the crowd.
Yet you, Baker, baked the bread they ate. And you, Potter, stained the cups from which they drank. Willingly or not, each of you aided the invader. Where does pursuing one's craft end and treason begin? I've no answer to that. So I shan't punish any for doing merely what's theirs to do.
Upon hearing the verdict, the Queen's troops stared in disbelief, then began to boil. As she walked back calmly to the tent, they jeered and hissed. At the last, it took Reynard to calm them down. Niamh had saved Todor, but she was convinced she'd not see the blacksmith again. Come evening, he returned to the camp, with a wagon full of arms so new they shone.
If it weren't for you, Your Grace, they'd have torn me to bits with their bare hands,
he said, kneeling before her.
I thank you for speaking up for me. For my innocence, that is. I've a gift for you. A gift I knows you'll put to proper use.
Niamh took a spear in hand, put it to her shoulder, and gazed down the shaft. The tip glowed red in the light of the setting sun.
Of that, my friend, you can be sure.
Niamh's spear. Oh, whoops. Set a unit's power to 1, then trigger all allies' loyal abilities. Any cannot target bosses, okay. The cooldown is 1 more, sure. But that seems busted. Let's try it out.
How could you, Your Majesty? He's crafted weapons for blackclads. The very same what killed our lads.
Freedom will cost us dearly. Dearly indeed.
How much do we need for this? Yeah, we got.
Your Majesty, the hut's untouched. Ripe grain in the fields, 'tis hard to believe. I feared we'd have another Edirn here, with the Blackclads setting fire to all.
I feared nothing of the sort. Nilfgaard's not stupid. Lands it aims to hold, it doesn't destroy. And Willem did bend the knee to the Emperor.
When the scouts returned with information that Nilfgaardian slavers had set up camp nearby, Maeve let out a heavy sigh. She knew she must free her subject, yet she also knew that when threatened, the Blackclads whips in hand would turn those very subjects against her. Oh no, no. I think this is a shortened battle.
You mad? Don't say that!
No, this is a regular battle. Okay.
New orders? No?
This could hurt! That will do.
You cheeky.
Life is mine now!
Arbalest to your command.
This is a good scaling deck. Nothing to redraw.
This one's got spirit!
The only thing is that I'm not really compatible with like that hero power isn't really compatible with my deck. I will need to change it for more damage.
This harvest, we'll be reaping Blackclad heads.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
Again and again and again.
I mean, him taking many curse isn't
He's
that
worth
bad.
20 florins!
Because at least... But taking these guys kinda is.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
101, 102, 103.
Mahjong, mahjong.
Okay, force of habit.
new orders? No?
To the last!
Wise choice.
Feel any burning? See a local healer or wise one.
Again and again and again.
Now if I do this, I'm going to play a card, so let's pass. That's good. Nine cards to his 10. I don't really want to play anything.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Infiltrate!
Should've listened to me, old lady.
Come on, my guy. Don't eat my cards.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
Watch your heads!
Hundred and 102, 103.
Mahjong.
He isn't playing the slave master because I have these guys. Probably.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black clad heads.
Okay. I mean, spear is cool, but I don't know. Too big of a cooldown. Like, too much of my stuff is based on upgrading my units. My queen, we found a sizable store of gold under the floorboards of the dwelling. It appears someone has hidden their life savings. I mean, I don't care about the coin, but the card, I do. I'll leave you a small gift which should ease the force recapture from the Guardians. Do not delay the attack. The queen will soon reach the border. By striking from the rear, we can spread the burden on her troops, hastening their march on the capital. Secure the hideout entrance. Did you again come to bother me? Come. Oh wait. Sergeant Gwendolyn Ifir of the 6th Gestor Infantry Regiment was impatient to finish his duty on watch. He first planned to empty his bladder. He then wished to empty his bottle of Temerian hooch hidden under his bunk. Unfortunately, he hadn't the time to fulfill either desire. Upon seeing the torches of the approaching Lyrian force, he sounded the alarm.
Be an important lesson in this. But what?
Yeah!
101, 102, 103. March on.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Life is mine now.
I have to play a card.
Give me a target. Arbalist is your command.
That was not in the spellbooks.
betray!
Off to the front yet again.
This artist will be reaping black-clad heads.
Catch!
Wise choice.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn things are killing me.
Okay, passed again. I guess at least these matches, these games go faster. Like the outcome is already predetermined, so I mean predetermined in the sense that I am going to win like those games and I'm going to win them quite easily, so maybe if the AI doesn't see it can win. But at the same time, like shouldn't those games like be a challenge? The Lyrian force came across an abandoned farmhouse, shattered windows, traces of blood in the dirt, unattended cows trampling grain. Meve suspected either Nilfgaardians or bandits, reveling in the realm's chaotic state, were to blame for the village's disappearance. The true culprit, however, were rather unexpected. And the enemy units are the cows, or this? Oh, okay. Now, they will not move on their own? Question mark. I also can move these guys. So what happens if I just increase the counter for this one, for example? They won't move, they need to consume something. Okay. They have to consume something. Let's give this guy. Nope. Oh, crap. This is going to be one of those tough ones, eh? That is... Oh my god. We had a streak of pleasant puzzles. This seems immediately unpleasant. Five. Holy crap. I mean, we may kill this cow, but we'll kill this cow. Oh my god. Holy crap. Right, they may need to eat one of them. Okay. The cow on the left is fixed. Right? I just need to move. And it's going to be over. No, I have to pass. I hate this. I hate this about those puzzles. When I use every single card and it starts to make sense and then I have to pass. Because this one rule about having cards in your hand, even though you're playing a completely different fucking game right now, this has to stick. This has to stick. Oh my god. Annoying. Let's try to do the same thing. I don't like that also because it feels like you're effectively playing with one card less. And this is counterintuitive, just give me less cards to... No, I don't want to pass, I want his turn to go. No, I can't do it like this because he needs to travel. And right at the finish. I'm not saying I'm tired of the game, but I'm very close. see something what will happen if I... Nothing, that will just be... They're just gonna be stuck there. I feel like what I did over here is correct. It's just that... Okay. Now move these cards. No, because I have to pass. Oh my god! But let's try the same thing, maybe. I know the definition of insanity doing the same thing over and over again, but I have a feeling that this is correct. I'm just fucking something up at the end. I have to swap him now? God almighty. We are having the same problem. Or do we? Yeah, I'm still using 3 corpses to kill 1 cow. Or am I? Yeah, I am. And now I have to pass. I know what annoys me so much. I have to finish this puzzle with 1 card in hand. There is a very specific It looks like I need... Maybe. They will stop moving. Oh my god. Maybe you don't want them to stop moving. Maybe you want them to eat all of them. But she will not turn back. Well, I can... Can I stop them for a second? Well, of course I can, but... If I swap him now... Let's stop this cow. A second. I can't use any moving abilities. I do itch to find somebody else's playthrough after I finish with this shit and seeing if they had the same amount of problems I did. The other one. I started with buffing this one. And now I have to swap him. No, because the same shit. The same shit over and over again. Because I have to pass right now. If half of the effort of making these puzzles went into more creative combat experiences and more card variety, this game would got so much better. So much better. Because like, instead of engaging with the mechanics of the card game itself, like seeing new cool art of cards, which I know they have because they have the entire multiplayer game Gwent about it, I'm stuck fiddling with, to be honest with you, cookie clicker blocks, because I don't really even want to think about it. And the only thing that prohibits me from looking this up online is my own fucking stubbornness, nothing else. Nothing else. Let's try moving them like this. Will they turn around? Does it really matter? Because they will stop moving. Yeah. Maybe if I swapped this guy here, this guy here, because probably one of these Illyrian scythemen has to be like transformed into a corpse. This wouldn't happen without a reason. I can freeze one of the cows. What we do like that? If I now decide to move, this won't work. Because I have to move now. So 1, 2, 3, dead. And this is I'm again on the same path. Because we killed this cow, but for this one we won't have enough card to kill this one. Let that cow go. What did this change? Nothing. it would change nothing. I guess I can get him here. Doesn't change anything, right? Yeah. That's stupid. Because again, the guy that needs damage is going to be on the wrong side of it all. So it doesn't really matter. I want to finish this. I'm They do not move in a chain reaction, so what's the... Yeah. Am I missing something? Fuck's sake, what is my... Is this all math? Is this all... It is, it is. 1, 2, 3, and that's over. 1. Because I also have to remember all the fucking cards you have to... What if I stop this card for a second? And not enough, even for that. Even for that is not enough. I mean, I cannot. I'm going to go back to this puzzle after I finish the fucking game. I want to, like... Can I save? No, I cannot even... Fuck that then. I'm not... I'm not spending... I'm finishing this game tonight and I'm not fucking spending like... You know what? If okay, fuck it. If I cannot even go back to this puzzle because I cannot save the game... then I'm just going to look it up online. Because I cannot, right? I can save and exit. Yeah. For some fucking reason I cannot make a separate save. Okay, crap. And I'm... it's just...
Broadhead now loomed before Meve and her force. Once famous for its glowing forges and clanking manufactories, the city now stood silent. Why, you might ask? Because? Mahakam. Decades past, it had opened its gates to human merchants and dwarven arms, exquisitely crafted and not nearly as dear as those made by man. The caravans had simply stopped coming to Broadhead. When its black-clad garrison spotted the Lyrians approaching, they'd hastily fled, left the city's gates open wide. Yet, they did not leave empty-handed. Their convoy comprising at least a dozen wagons loaded ostensibly to the hilt.
With what might they have fled?
With something damn heavy,
replied Gascon, squinting his eyes.
Look at this. 2 horses to pull each wagon, and the wheels cut deep into the road.
Just a few months past 'twas we who fled the black-clad hordes,
said Meve, her tone and mien betraying disgust.
Now our roles stand reversed. We are the aggressor. Well, let them run, I say. And let all Rivia see Nilfgaard tuck tail, rather than face us in a fight.
The Queen strode towards the open gates, slowly, deliberately, wondering still what spoils the invader had carried off. Crumbling walls, shattered windows, rotted wood. Broadhead was bleak, a dull shadow of its former self. As the Lyrians entered, the somber townsfolk glared at the arrivals and uttered not a word. Meve resolved to address the crowd.
Folk of Broadhead, you're free at last. The Nilfgaardian occupation is done.
Aye, and a new one starts now. Are you madman? Don't you recognize our banners? The Lyrian army stands before you. Oh, I recognize banners. Served neath them as a sergeant 15 long years. And then I came back to my own town. Know what I found? Hardship and squalor, your grace. All had gone to shite. On account of damn dwarves. Been flooding Rivia with their metal goods for years now. Us smiths don't so much as light their pipes in their foundries no more. You call yourselves the Lyrian army. Colours and banners confirm it. Well, what about your arms? Weren't forged in us fires, but in Mahakam's, by his worst foes. Hell, I even see some at knobheads in your ranks. So what freedom's it you're giving us, your grace? Freedom to beg in common, not in Nilfgaard's mongrel tongue?
Beg? What are you on about, man?
There's no levy on goods from Mahakam. But without it, us workshops don't stand a chance. And ye, your grace, you wear their armour, bear their arms, and bring bearded bastards to our doorstep.
The dwarves are faithful allies. They help us because...
'Cause they've got something to gain. Simple as that.
Enough. Silence. Consider yourself lucky you've a merciful queen. I'd have had your head off by now. Move along.
Before Meave could leave the market square, Barnabas politely interjected.
Frankly speaking, there's a bit of truth to what the man says.
I'm perfectly aware of that. But what do you want?
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but perhaps I might be of some help?
Do tell how. I'm all ears.
Everything your folk make here, the dwarves of Mahakam make twice as fast and twice as well. You must find a so-called niche, an innovation. And it just so happens innovations
are your speciality.
At the risk of being immodest, exactly. Besides, it might serve the cause of peace to show the folk here, non-humans, are not all bad, that they can help. Not just steal human jobs and piss in their milk.
I'll consider it, Barnabas. I shall think and let you know.
The time came to leave Broadhead, so Meave summoned her advisors, eager to hear their counsel. They put forth ideas, many of merit, but the Queen would decide the city's future. Meave knew she couldn't abandon the folk of Broadhead, leave them embittered, unsure of how to go on.
The time's come to bring hammer down on anvil again. Take this gold and show the North the value of Broadhead steel.
Even with the Queen's support, the craftsmen could not compete. The dwarves of Mahakam, the goods from their foundries, stifled the city's workshops in but a few months. Meave had gambled much, but gained naught in return.
It was all very like touching and deep and shit, but I cannot let this go. I'm so fucking stubborn. Come here. Choose a unit and swap its position with another unit. Okay, let's try the same thing again and see if I'm not seeing anything. And we are in the same exact position. What am I not seeing here? Wait. Oh. I swap any 2 units. Okay, somebody may look at this and like say you're dumb, mate. But at the same time, did we have any puzzle which worked like that? Like, I think it's safe for me to assume that I can only. Well, okay, but even if I can swap them at will, what does it change? What does it change? There's going to be like what does it give me? Well, this cow is going to die, but didn't I just... Didn't I just... Okay, this cow will die on its own. Now... Okay, so this is just my opinion, I was lacking a crucial piece of information, which in my opinion, wasn't communicated to me well. And this is not the first time the game does this.
You must raise tariff on the Hackerman goods. Enough to stifle dwarves. Make trade not worth their while.
I need like a small reset to get back into the game. And which sucks the most is this is right before the finish. Right before the finish. So where my entire attention should be on the plot, I was like stuck fucking switching cows.